back to my channel. My name is Sabrina Henley. I am the founder of The Choice to Change TV. The Choice to Change is a leadership service firm that is designed to enrich the lives of mature women, helping them find the freedom to be their best self. I like to call myself the Chief Change Agent because my goal is to really turn people's focus back on God again, really help you discover who you are and not being afraid to step out into your greatness. Today's video, I'm going to talk about my biggest lessons, maybe plural, lessons that I learned in 2018. I know we're in the second week of January of 2019, but I, have took some time to reflect back on what are some of the things that has meant the most to me that I will take into 2019 so I can be the best Sabrina that I can possibly be. So I want to share those with you. So stay tuned for the rest of the video. The biggest lesson that I learned for 2018 is it's okay to find your way back. And let me explain. Sometime along our journeys in life, we kind of get sidetracked. Things happen in our lives and we lose sometimes the focus of who we are. We lose our identity. We don't know kind of how we got here. It's kind of like you've gotten to the point where you are now, but you've done it in the dark. And it's okay to stop, hit the pause button and say, hey, this is not where I want to be. And it's up to me to make the changes necessary so I can be and become the person that I wanted to be. I did that. I hit the stop button. I didn't hit the pause button. Like, stop. Okay, this is not okay. I'm not okay with where I am. I want to really make some changes, because one of the biggest things that really is a burden for me, if you will, is to die and not live my life to the fullest and not really live out the destiny and the purpose that God has for me. And I felt like in so many ways that my life had deviated from that. And so I needed to get back on course. I don't know how I got off course. I don't know where I got off course, but I need to get back on course. And sometimes it takes a lot of soul searching. It takes a lot of self-awareness. It takes a lot of being honest with yourself. And it takes you stepping out of your fear, becoming focused, and being willing to do whatever it takes for you to get to that next phase of your life. So what did that look like for me? So I had to make some tough decisions. I made some decisions on removing some people, some things out of my life. I made some decisions to change my geographical setting. I made some decisions to change my emotional setting, my environment. I made some decisions to change, just like YouTube. I've been planning to start YouTube for years, talked about it for years, have all the equipment, the lighting, and all these different types of things, but I just never acted on it. And I realized that imperfect action is better than doing nothing at all. So I want to encourage you today to look at where you got off course, and maybe you need to redirect in some way to get back on course. But one other thing that I want to share is I became very self-aware. One of the things that I truly asked God to do is really show me who I am and how does he see me, and what are the things about Sabrina that Sabrina needs to change. And these are questions that you really can't ask anybody else. And even if you ask someone that's close to you and they give you an answer, are you willing to make the changes necessary in order to do something different? Or are you going to make excuses for where you are and stay where you are and do nothing but complain? And so as God began to peel back the layers like you would eat a banana, I began to see some things about myself I just wasn't pleased with. So it became my job and my responsibility to make the changes necessary in order for me to move forward to the next level in my life. And it wasn't easy, and it's still not easy. Every day I have to work on being in the present and doing something different that's going to help me get to that goal. It's scary, especially we are conditioned to stay in a certain place. When you've done something for so long, if it's not broke, we don't want to fix it. You're afraid to make a change, but it's so necessary. We have to remember that we serve a progressive God. I serve a progressive God. And so I can't stay stagnant. The person, the 10-year-old Sabrina can't suffice as the Sabrina today. And even Sabrina yesterday can't suffice as a Sabrina today. So I have to be willing to step out on faith and grasp hold of the blessings that's in front of me and make the choice to change, to do something different. So that's the first lesson that I learned for 2018. 2 was, I kind of alluded to that in number 1, is letting go of toxic relationships and toxic things. So what do I mean by that? And sometimes this does not have to necessarily be a romantic type relationship. I think sometimes when we say that, we always think about some type of intimate type of a relationship, but I had to do a spring cleaning, and I thought about all the things and all the people that were in my life that brought me joy or brought me happiness, brought me peace, really helped me in fulfilling my destiny and moving forward towards my purpose. And you know what? Guess what? It wasn't that many. So I cut the list off. And was it difficult for me to do? Nope. Because these people really wasn't adding value to my life in the first place. So toxic relationships is one thing, and I think all of us can really do inventory on the people in our lives and what value do they bring in our lives, because we have to understand when we're in relationships with people, whether it's intimate, whether it's sister and brother, whether it's friendships, whatever it is, you should bring something to me and I should bring something to you, and it shouldn't always be you taking from me and I'm taking from you. It should be reciprocal. Okay, so if you're in relationships where it's not reciprocal, it's not adding value, and most of all, it's not helping you get towards your destiny, your purpose, really think about whether or not these are the relationships you should be in every area. Again, it doesn't have to be necessarily romantic, but it could be, it can be in every relationship. It can be as far as work. It could be, like I said, sister and brother. It could be family. It could be friendships. And it doesn't matter how long these relationships have been established. You need to make sure that you have the right team surrounding you so you don't get stuck. You know, sometimes people can really pull us down and keep us from, we can allow people, let me change my verbiage. We can allow people to pull us down and keep us stuck in certain places that we need to move on from. Okay, so think about that. And then again, toxic situations, making sure that I'm putting myself in the right environment, making sure that I'm putting myself in the right places, making sure that I'm actually going and doing and being in the places that I need to be, and not putting myself in stressful situations for unnecessary reasons. So that's kind of like common sense, but I think a lot of times we get comfortable living in chaos and we don't know how to change it. And the way you change it is just by doing something different. Make a choice to change. So that's number 2. Number 3 is don't be afraid of living your dreams. This is a big one. I would say for myself, I am a huge dreamer. I'm a visionary. I can see things in the future. I can see myself doing these different things. And sometimes and somewhere, and I don't know where it happens, fear kind of creeps in and you get all off course, or you're around the wrong people and they make you think because you really strive to do differently, you have these big bold dreams and you just really want to go for it, that you're doing the wrong thing, and you're not, you know. And if you're around people who doesn't understand that, that's their fault, not yours. So learning to go for your dreams, dream big, you know, and stop dreaming small and looking at the small thing and thinking I can't, oh, this is too much for me, how can I afford this, how can I do this? And you know what, and every dream is not always about money. So be willing to dream big. So that's the 3rd lesson that I learned in 2018. And in 2019, carrying all those 3 things that I just shared with you forward is really stepping into the person that I am, whether it makes this person upset, that person upset, or whether or not this person understand that person understand it. It makes no difference to me anymore, because it's my life. I have to do what makes me happy, And I think for far too long I have, and I think possibly maybe some of you all can relate, is somewhere along the lines we feel like we have to become this advocate for everybody. We become this savior for everybody. And let me just tell you what God told me. Jesus died for our sins. He died for mine. He died for yours. And that's not my job. And he sent us a helper, which is the Holy Spirit. And that's your advocate. And I can't be that for somebody else. And I have a responsibility. And beyond that, I have a right to make sure that I live my life to the fullest, that I become and be everything that God has called me to be. Nothing is too big. And for those things that get in my way, guess what? We're just going to have to bulldoze you and keep it pushing. So I hope that this video, whether it's rather short, but I hope this video encouraged you to step out into your purpose, step out into the person that God has called you to be. Take a moment, if you haven't done this, and look back and reflect on how 2018 has impacted you, and what are some of the lessons that you learned from 2018 or didn't learn, and some of the things that you want to carry forward to 2019. I truly believe 2019 is going to be a huge year for so many of us, and I pray that you take the moment and take the time to look at your 2019 and live the best life that you possibly can. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Stay tuned. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and comment below what you learned for your 2018, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.